All right, so let's talk about the service animal. What's going on with all of this crazy stuff?
This must be that time of the year again. In
Oh
my
yeah,
app, in my app. I mean, this is a big headache for a lot of full-time drivers. I get it. It's an ADA thing. It's a federal law. So the companies can't do much about it. My biggest concern with all of this is um, I have zero problems accepting a service animal in my car. None.
agreed.
Because they are well trained. They know what to do. They just go sit in the wheel well there, behave. And we know, unfortunately, 80% probably of the um, dogs or whatever animal you're using it for, service animal, they're not trained. You can tell. They start barking,
Mm.
yapping, jumping up and down in my back seat. I'm going like, no. But then that gray area gets muddled, right? And then when somebody walks in your car, say, "Oh, it's my service animal," you can't question it, honestly, because if you do and they complain, right, they'll boot you off. So I don't know. I mean, I really would like actually the chat to figure this out for me because it's a huge dilemma. I mean, you have to accept them, right? And again, I have no problems accepting service animals. But when people start bringing some unruly animals in my car that you 100% know they're not service animals, but they go like, "Oh, it's my emotional support dog. It's blah 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 blah." I'm like, bro,
Emotional support dogs don't count.
I know, but they do it, and then they tell Lyft or Uber, you tell them, "Okay, I'm not taking you," and what do you think they're going to do, Chris? They're going to boot you. At least
Well,
suspend you.
well, here's the big thing. When it comes down to it, the best thing that you can have is a dash camera that is on rolling and capturing the audio of everything. You need to
Right
have a
there.
dash camera. In fact,
Exactly.
there's a couple of dash cameras that we put in the description because I knew that this topic was coming up. And, one of the biggest things you need to do is have a dash camera. We've talked about this so many weeks. So many times Sergio gets emails and says, "Hey, I got deactivated from
Mhm.
this. You do anything?" First question he asks, "Do you have a dash camera?" You need to
Mhm.
have a dash camera because
Mhm.
guess what? They're unbiased. They don't care. They don't lie.
Mhm.
They tell it
Mhm.
what happened. So if you're able to have this recorded conversation where it's showing a little floofy that is my emotional support dog that is not a trained service animal, well, then you have proof right there that that person is lying and they don't actually have a service animal. So yeah, there's things around that, but it's a way to cover your ass on multiple fronts. This is just another one of those. So please get a dash camera no matter what.
Yeah, 100%. I have Display Ride for the last 18 months. Super happy with it. Go to Display Ride's website. I use RSG code for a massive discount on the monthly. I have allergies too, but
Mhm.
if it's a service animal, you must take it regardless of allergies. You can take a doctor's report, send it to Uber, send it to Lyft. It doesn't mean shit. You could have an hyperlactic shock or attack or something, hit a wall, doesn't matter. Yeah, yeah. Now the new thing, not new thing, but I'm seeing quite a bit on videos is that they're just coming, brake checking you, and then reversing into you, and then holding their neck and coming out of the car. I'm like, what the hell? You need to have a dash cam. That's the fraud that they're doing now.
Oh yeah,
So
you need to have a dash camera on any car you drive, whether it's rideshare or not. That I have it on both my cars, of course, and I wouldn't not have it.
actually, it is, Jeff, especially on the West Coast. It's massive because everybody has a goddamn pet here. And little barking chihuahuas that was their support dog or whatever. But anyway, so I really, um, I mean, you have to accept them. And even if they're not a service dog or animal, and you can tell they're not, you still you can cancel and move on, but now you're risking them saying something to Uber and getting you at least suspended, if not deactivated. And because they will do that. They will do that. Yeah. Well, it's a federal law. So Uber and Lyft really are just passing it along. That's all they're doing. That's all they can do. I mean, I don't see Uber and Lyft too much at fault here. It's federal guidelines. And you can, yes, you can. I do it every single time, right? You can't ask for paperwork or anything, but you should ask. I think there's two legitimate questions you can ask to figure out. And so feel free to do that. But I think ultimately the best thing is dash cams for sure. You know, I mean, you're driving up to the rider, right? You have this dog that's jumping up and down outside the car already. That dash cam is going to grab that, and then get in the car. Dash cam is going to grab that. So have that. So, you know, I mean, that we do have obligations, obviously, under ADA guidelines, and you're required to transport riders with service animals. Gotcha. Various state and federal laws prohibit drivers from denying a ride. I get that, especially to blind folks who have a seeing eye dog. I mean, I'm all there, right? Service animals are now legally required to wear a tag. We know that. Unfortunately, they probably should, honestly, or display proof. Okay. If you or someone in your family is allergic to dogs, there's your question. I forgot your name, but you were saying it. You may want to use a towel or seat cover, or you will sneeze your life away for the next 15 minutes while that dog is in your car, but you will
Well,
have to
one
do
of the
it.
easiest thing to do, just grab a Claritin or a Benadryl and just keep it in the car just in case.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do it. I've had one actually. I could tell this huge goddamn dog. I could tell this dog is no way is a service dog, because the girl didn't need, like, she needed servicing, to be honest with you. I drove by once and then went around the block. I'm thinking, okay, cancel, move on. Then I go, okay, let's not do it. I went around, bro. That dog effed up my seats, bro. I'm jumping up and down. I'm going like, this is the biggest bullshit I've ever seen in my life. So, tips when serving people with disabilities. Okay, ask riders if and how you can help. Yeah, okay. And but my concern is that gray line between service animals and people who bring their animals into the car, and act like they're service animals.
Yep.
So good luck.
The one thing I would be interested to know is if a person is lying about a service animal, you're committing fraud essentially.
Yep.
What would the ramifications be of something like that? Because you're
None.
claiming ADA, but yet it wouldn't apply to them.
Yeah, we're drivers, bro. Nobody cares, honestly. But I do understand Ubers and Lyfts. They're just passing on the existing federal law. But so
I'd be interested if there was like a civil lawsuit that could happen, because
yeah,
basically you're claiming something that's fraudulent, not real, and you're trying to claim that it's a service animal when in fact it's not.
yeah.
And if you get deactivated from that, I could imagine you could try to sue them for damages.
Well, you can take them maybe civil court. I don't know.
Well,
For
that's what I mean.
unjust termination, loss of earnings, whatever. I don't know.
I would love to see something like that, only because it would definitely put a little bit of a damper on people trying to do that, and claim that they're service animals even when they're not, because it would put them in a liability issue because they're lying, creating fraud, and if they want to say something about that passenger, or I'm sorry, the driver, not accepting the ride, then they could turn around and get sued.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I'm not for all the lawsuits, but literally, I mean, something like that,
I
they're basically
mean,
using something that's not compliant to them, and trying to use the ramifications to get a free ride for their animal, or pay less because they don't want to do pet ride.
that's
Oh,
why they have
and
Uber Pet, right? If
yeah,
the yours is not a service animal, you got to use Uber Pet. Then we know to take the ride or not to take the ride. But most people don't do it. They don't want to pay that extra, whatever, $5, $6, $8, whatever. Not that you know, drivers are making that money. Use Uber Pet, but people don't, you know. And there it is. We'll finish with that. So many emotional support dogs, exactly, I get are wet and sandy from the beach. Took one this weekend, and it shook all over. Lyft refused a cleaning fee despite super wet seats and sand all over. There you go. That's the downside.
Mm-hmm.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. There is no winners here for the drivers anyway. So.
Yeah. Honestly, my dog is, but both my dogs have like some separation anxiety from me. I mean, it's cute because they like come to me and they're so happy when but I would never deem them to have like emotional support or anything like that. And then on top of it, I wouldn't put them into a car or something like that if they're not going to act proper, because if they cause damage or anything, I don't want to be that asshole.
Yep.
I just don't get it. I don't understand some people. Some
It is
people
what
just
it
suck. That's it.
Well, that's the world that we live in.
Yeah. Dealing with customers, son of a bitches.
Customer's always right, baby.
No, the customer is always wrong.
Well, you know, according to the TOS, they're our customer.
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, you still got to be ADA compliant when it comes to real service animals, but when it comes to little Fluffy here, who is the little yipper ankle biter, not going to happen.
Yeah, well, I am just you know, every time I go to pick somebody up, I'm like, please, no dog, please, no dog, please, no dog. And then you know what Jeff said is true. Not that many. If you do like, if you're full-time driver, if you're doing 30 trips a day, you'll probably get one a day. In California, in LA, you will probably definitely get one a day, especially if you're working the Hollywood area, Santa Monica area, those, you know, girls with their little poodles and shit. But you know, yeah. Anyway.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.